Welcome back, boys and girls, to another PSGL League Racing video. Remember when I set a lap time of 1:25.6 as my new personal best? It ain't gonna mean anything today, because we got wet qualifying.
Oh shit, it's actually raining!
Now in wet qualifying, what you need to do is to be out there and just pump out as many laps as you can. Lap after lap if you can. Because with the way the F1 games work now, track evolution is actually huge in the wet, meaning the laps you do at the end of the qualifying session could actually be a couple of seconds faster than the ones you do in the beginning. But there's a small problem. I was so focused on my dry qualifying pace that I did not do any wet qualifying practice. This also means I was underprepared when it comes to the wet setup strategy.
Do more laps.
This means I had to spend a lot of time in the pits trying to find the right configuration. After first push lap, I had a banker on the timing table, but it was not very fast, so I had to go out again after having made a few adjustments. And already, speaking of track evolution, I'm already up 4/10ths. Going into cops, however, I have a massive snap. The rear has just simply decided to step away, so I have to go back in. That lap was no good. But I'm tumbling down the order, already down to P14.
Really
Remember, that is still the banker we first put up, and I have yet to improve on it. Going out one last time today, only getting a third run in, this is gonna have to be a full send. And just by taking the normal line, I'm already up 1/10 going into the second corner of the track. Now, we practice this so much in the dry, however, in the wet, it's a little different. You don't get as much traction. But already 4/10ths gained onto the first DRS straight into the start of Sector 2. I just gotta keep improving. Corner after corner, finding a 10th or 2 per corner. That should give me a good shot at having a good position on the grid. Running a little wide into left field, we have to slow down the car considerably more. That's going to negatively impact our minimum speed. Remember, kids, minimum speed is everything. But into cops, I'm going to take it a little safer this time around, trying to not lose the car. Little lift, and we get back on the power. A little under the limit, but that's okay. I'd rather have that than to have to abandon an entire lap again. Into Maggots and Beckett's, try to open up this next corner to really get a good exit. But in the rain, it's just so hard to get the power down. We do get a purple Sector 2, but that remains to be seen whether it's a true purple Sector 2 or not. Because sometimes the game gives you a purple Sector 2, but it's not really a purple Sector 2. I digress. Into the final 2 corners of the track, braking at 100-meter board. Might have been a little early, but that's okay. We get the power down gently but surely and up to the line. Use a little bit of overtake. The car wants to step away on exit. It is going to be good enough for P2.
Please, stop the clock.
However, a lot of people have yet to cross the line. Already, I've dropped down to P3. And now with more people finishing their laps, let me tell you, it's not looking good. The track evolution, like I said in the beginning of the video, has fully kicked in. And the lap times are just tumbling down, one after the other. They knocked me down all the way to P10. But I'm still pretty happy with the performance, knowing that I only had 2 or 3 attempts to put in a good lap time. And remember, a race is not won by quali, but by the actual race. However, hold that thought, because heading into the race, 5 lights and away we go. Most people opted to start on the mediums, and so did we. Only a select few cars decided to go for the softs, and I barely avoided an incident going into the first corner with the Aston Martin ahead. The cars are bunching up, slowing down unpredictably, and it's making it really difficult to keep it clean. And now one of the Mercs decides to stick it down the outside, and he barges into our side pod, and it pushes us into the Williams on our inside. And we have moved up to P8 from P10. Already 2 positions gained, but going into left field, we're gonna hang around the outside, which turns back into the inside. He leaves us room, we leave them some room as well, and it's beautiful racing with the V-carb. However, we're both expending a lot of battery trying to win this position over, and this is not helping neither of us. Going into comps, I'm gonna let him go here because I don't want to drain the entirety of my battery. It's a long race, there's still 25.5 laps to go, There's plenty of time left to make moves. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but that little contact on the opening lap actually gave me 7% wing damage. But there's a more pressing matter right now. In front of us, there is a hard runner. I don't know what Adam was thinking. Maybe he chose the wrong strategy going into the race, but hards do not work well at Silverstone. They're extremely slow, and you could do the whole distance easily with only 20% wear at the end of the race. And he's already fallen out of DRS range. We have to get past him here, simply because of how powerful DRS is. But into Stowe, I go wide. The effect of the front wing damage already being felt. I'm gonna hang it around the outside, which turns back into the inside, but I get boxed in by the McLaren and I have to concede my position. I've dropped down to P10 and we're back to square one now. And now there's two cars between the V-Carb and I. It just goes to show how fast things can go wrong for you in racing. And Adam is crawling around the track. Already getting overtaken by the Mercedes, who goes around the outside and it turns back into the inside for the second portion of Vale. I try to have a little look down the inside, but that wasn't gonna happen. It would have been way too risky, and I'm running a little low on battery, so I have to maintain my battery levels. But Adam goes for a huge send down the inside into turn one because the Merc is running low on battery, and I'm gonna do the same. Go down the inside, a little contact because of the contact model. And for the next left-hander, I tried to leave some room on the inside, keep it around the outside, use the extra momentum to get back on the gas, and we're both draining our batteries. We have to get past him here, but because of that little move from Adam, we are now well out of the DRS from the top train. And that wasn't a very smart move from Adam, because now we have some work to do to catch up to the train. And yet he's still fighting, knowing fully that this is costing us crucial time to the train at the front. Into Cops, we managed to overtake him, but now there's a bigger problem. Look at my battery levels. I'm down to 15%, and there's a big straight coming up with the longest DRS straight on the track. We're gonna be vulnerable to all the cars behind. I'm gonna burn whatever I have and try to hang it around because I do not want to get re-overtaken by that McLaren. But the Red Bull moves to the side and takes both of them out. Little side-by-side action into Stowe, and I managed to hang it around the outside. And now it is crucial for me and the Merc to work together here. It is currently lap 4. We're at the start of lap 5, and the pit window only opens about 7 or 8 laps from now. And we have to work together to catch up to the train ahead. You see that little wiggle? That means let's go get him. Right away, we're gonna go on the attack. There's no time to waste. 2 seconds is the gap to the lead train. And I don't mind burning all of my battery in the middle sector and get overtaken on the straight if it means that we're gonna catch up to the lead train. I lose 2 positions here, but at least we're gonna have a shot at getting back to the lead train. However, the Ferrari in front of us is on the soft compound of tires. Even though the softs are really good around Silverstone, my mediums will only get better than his softs, and there you go. We move back up to P9, right behind the Merc, and the overspeed we got coming up to the back of his car is absolutely crazy. We need to somehow gain 2 seconds to the lead train in order to get back within the DRS, and I think both of us understand our roles very well. Pushing hard in the middle sector and exchanging DRS on the hanger straight, and already we have dropped the rest of the field out of our own DRS. Just on that lap alone, we have managed to gain 5 tenths back. This is wonderful news. We even set the fastest lap of the race doing so, which goes to show how good both of our pace have been in the past few laps. And again, we're gonna exchange DRS here. I don't mind if I'm empty, completely drained, if it means we can both get back within that DRS. Like clockwork. That's another 4 tenths gain from the middle sector alone. Again, we use DRS tactically to move past the Merc. Out of Vale, the DRS train is so close now. Unfortunately, I was running really low on ERS, which means I won't be able to overtake him on this lap. Our progress is going to be halted just a little bit, but on the next lap, we are so close now, only 2 tenths away. And he backs out of the corner to give me as much space as possible, knowing that it is crucial that we don't make each other lose time. And onto the start of lap 11, you can see we're practically glued to the lead train now. But Hugo is still not within the DRS of the car in front. We have to keep pushing because the pit window is about to open soon. And by Maggots and Beckets, we are well back within that 1 second window. Phew! What a stressful few laps that's been. However, as the pit window is about to open, a lot of people will be looking to fight and hopefully gain some track positions. I have been saving my ERS this entire time, waiting for the right moment to attack, probably on my outlap to try to go for a dirty undercut. But they're going side by side in front there, and unluckily the Aston Martin has fallen victim to the level of chaos in PSGL F6. Currently, I'm sitting comfortably in P8. And a lot of people have already jumped the gun. They've headed into the box. And when you go from the mediums to the softs, the undercut is probably 1.5, or even 2 seconds if you really push to the limit on your outlap. And that's what I was hoping to do here. Pit this lap and maybe gain some crucial track positions so that I could be fighting with the guys in front. Unfortunately for me, a lot of the front runners have also decided to box, and the Aston, I'm not sure if we made contact there or not, but it looked a little sus. And when we head out of the box with fresh new softs, bad news. We have come out behind one of the Ferraris who's already boxed from the mediums to the softs.
Oh, I didn't see it.
And this is not good because we don't have a clean air in order to do what we wanted to do. And the two of them are going really slow. And this is really hindering our progress. And our undercut isn't as big as I would have hoped. Because as we come around the pit exit again on the next lap, Hugo, the Merc, remember, who was with us in the lead train, has managed to come out ahead of us. Which goes to show how slow this little train has been going. He's managed to not only retain track position, but also have a 1 lap tire advantage over us. And I want to dispatch this kick car as soon as possible. Going onto the hangar straight, we get a mega exit, and I'm gonna burn a lot of my battery here to try and overtake him. He's also draining a lot of battery, but he moves multiple times on the straight, and he goes wide on the exit of Stowe. I'm gonna leave him some room on the outside. He pushes us, and I'm gonna go around the outside into Vale, braking very deep around the outside, which turns into the inside. He pushes us a little, and I push him back, and I managed to make the move stick. However, I'm running critically low on battery, and he's gonna go for it down the inside. I'm gonna try to leave him some room, but he washes wide and pushes us off track, giving us wing damage in the process. And yeah, there goes our opportunity to be fighting at the front. With a yellow front wing, the car is going to be considerably slower in the corners, and I will be driving with a very big disadvantage for the rest of the race. Still, 9 laps to go. I can still grab a few points here and there. And I'm already running very low on ERS. Coming out of Cops, the lead train is well in the distance, and I have to concede. The best we could get here is probably a P8, because I got 2 hungry cars behind with their batteries full and DRS flaps wide open. Still, I'm gonna try to stay within his DRS, maybe make something happen on the last laps of the race, but it is going to be very difficult now. I managed to stay within his DRS at the expense of my full battery. I managed to survive this lap, but how long can I keep this up? Only one way to find out. On lap 19, the kick is practically pushing us around, and I get my 3rd warning of the day, which gives me a 3-second time penalty. And I'm gonna use whatever's left of my battery here, but it's going to be to no avail. I'd rather have him overtake me here so that we can stay with the car in front than to battle too hard. So I'm gonna let him go and just tuck in the slipstream, the DRS, hope for something in the last laps of the race. On lap 23, I have managed to save up a decent amount of battery, but with a 3-second penalty, it is going to be very difficult. Somehow, I managed to stick my nose down the inside and overtake the Alpine into left field. I was really surprised by this because remember, I still had damage on my front wing. And not only that, I've actually managed to overtake the kick in front. Well, I kind of have to, because otherwise the Alpine would have overtaken me for the position again, and he would have had the best seat to finish in front of all of us. Through Vale, I have to leave some room on the outside, and he tries to go for the switchback, but through here, very difficult to make 2 cars fit. Moving on to the penultimate lap now. I'm gonna get overtaken by the kick and by the Alpine, which goes to show leading on the last 2 laps of the race is less than ideal. But I'm not going to give this up so easily. I still want a good finishing position on track. So I try to stick my nose down the inside, a little contact. Maybe I should have backed out of there earlier. And I'm down to 30% ERS, which is not ideal when you know you're heading into the final lap of the race. And I'm trying to save some battery in the middle sector, and I'm practically pushing the kick around, which goes to show I still got a lot of mechanical grip left. And now the tables have turned. The Alpine is going to know the full fury of both of our cars. With the DRS flaps wide open, we're gonna go full attack. Even though I know that 3-second penalty is very, very painful, I still want to finish ahead on track. Into Stowe, the Alpine gets pushed a little wide. I have some battery left in reserve. I'm gonna use it here to go down the inside into Vale, brake a little later than the Alpine on the outside, and cover up the switchback, follow the kick up to the line. It is going to be P8 on track. Because in case you didn't see, in the last corner there was a car that spun around. All in all, not a very ideal race for me today. It was a tough one to swallow. The unpreparedness and the bad decisions I made in the race did not help my case at all. There's only 3 races left to the PSGL season before the release of F1 25. I'm gonna try to stay focused and motivated and finish strong. Make sure to subscribe so you stay updated on my PSGL journey. And this is Formula Kai signing off. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.